Shri Sai Ram. Our loving salutation at the Divine Lotus Feet of our beloved Lord, Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Dearest uncles, aunties, brothers and sisters, the Sai Spiritual Education students of Australia lovingly welcome you all to our very first National Virtual Education Week offering. Education Week is an annual event celebrated in Australia to highlight the roles and achievements of public schools as the cornerstones of their communities. In line with the public education system in Australia, Education Week is also marked annually within Sai Spiritual Education to reinforce Sathya Sai Baba's vision of education. The 2020 national theme for Education Week celebrations across Australia is Purity is Enlightenment. Through today's theme, we hope to reinforce Swami's message of purity and become exemplars of his teachings, demonstrating purity in actions, purity in speech, and purity in thoughts. We would also like to take this opportunity to present the various spiritual practices we have been involved in leading up to Education Week to help connect with our inherent divinity and cultivate purity. Bhagwan, we pray that we all experience your presence, love and grace through this virtual offering. We will commence today's program with devotional singing invoking the blessings of our beloved Lord. speaker for this occasion is Sister Raksha Mahtani. Sister Raksha has been an active member of the Sathya Sai International Organisation since 2000, serving at both centre and national levels. She is the former Young Adult Coordinator of Zone 6 and has presented in Prashanthi Nilayam at the 10th World Conference in 2015 and at the International Leadership Program in 2018. She is an elementary school teacher in Spain and on many occasions has shared her experiences of applying Swami's universal teachings in her classroom and inspires all to teach children not through imposition but through intuition and inspiration. It gives me great pleasure to invite Sister Raksha to address us today.
Loving greetings and a warm Om Sai Ram to all the beautiful children in Australia. It is my absolute honor to participate in this Education Week under the theme Purity is Enlightenment. I would like to thank our dear Swami for this wonderful opportunity. If we're talking about purity is enlightenment, as we can see, there are two key words here, purity and enlightenment. So what is purity? The image that comes to me when I think about the word purity is a miner that finds a piece of gold. Although the miner finds a piece of gold, sometimes it is filled with impurities, elements that do not belong to it, that are not part of this gold's nature. So a jeweler, to make a beautiful ring or a beautiful jewel out of this gold, the first thing they need to do is get rid of these impurities before shaping the beautiful jewel. So in us, what makes us pure? What do we understand by purity? We know that our dear Swami always speaks to us about purity of heart. And he also says that God resides in a pure heart. God stays and lives in a pure heart. So how can we keep our hearts pure? Because we know that external purity is very important too, to keep our surroundings clean. But today we will focus a little bit more on this inner purity, purity of heart. I'd like to share a story with all of you related to this topic of purity. So this is a story of two of my students that happened 5 years ago. So once one of my students named Carla, she brought some beautiful colors to school. They were glittery felt pens that were absolutely amazing that her granny had brought to her from Sweden. So when she shared and she showed these beautiful colors to the whole class, one student named Alice, she looked at me and she said, Miss Raksha, can I share something with all of you? And she was very, very brave to share something that she had thought with her head. She said, Miss Raksha, can I tell you something? I know that the human value circuit, head, heart, hands, truly works. So I looked at her and I said, Alice, how do you know that? Why are you saying this in this very moment? And she said, Miss Raksha, when Carla showed us the colors this morning, I had a thought. And I thought, I would love to have these colors. And I even thought maybe when no one's looking, I shall put my hand in Carla's bag and take her colors. And then I thought with my head and I was going to do it with my hands. But then I remembered what you always share with us, the human value circuit, head, heart, and hands. So she said that when she thought with her head, she didn't directly go to her hands, but she stopped and asked her heart. And as our dear Swami says, our heart is filled with the right answers. Our spiritual heart is always there to guide us. So she asked herself a question. She said, Alice, will this make you happy if you take these colors? And she thought that maybe for a short while she would be happy having these colors, but she remembered to ask herself the question, will this make Carla happy if you take her colors? And she knew that this would not make Carla happy. Actually, totally the opposite. But she even remembered a second question. She asked herself, is this right for me? Is this right for the other person? And clearly her heart told her, no, Alice, this is not right for you, because you wouldn't like someone to take your things, and it's not right for Carla because no one likes their things to be taken, and this would make her very sad. Not only her mother and her whole family would be sad that she couldn't find her colors. And Alice said, so Miss Raksha, after going through the head, heart and hands circuit, because my heart did not approve what my head had thought, I decided to not do this action. Do you know what happened in that moment? Carla went directly to her school bag to check that her colors were in there. She realized that they were. She stood up, she gave Alice a big hug, and she said, Alice, thank you very much for doing the right thing. So why am I sharing this story with you? Because it is very natural sometimes that our mind, which Swami calls the monkey mind, sometimes it might take us to places where we know that if we do not pass this thought through the filter of our heart, if we do not purify our thoughts through our heart, maybe the action we're going to do is not right action. So we have spoken about how we can maintain purity of heart by practicing head, heart and hands before engaging in any action. And another very useful tool is to watch our words, to watch our actions, to watch our thoughts, to watch our character, and to watch and follow our heart. And to have pure thoughts, Swami has recommended a very useful practice, which is the light meditation. We all know that this light is within us, but if we practice this beautiful tool every day, we can illuminate our thoughts. It helps us to see good, to hear good, to speak good, and to do good. So the light meditation is a beautiful tool to cultivate this purity. We have focused a lot on purity, and I just like to think about the word enlightenment. When I think of the word enlightenment, of course, we know that light is part of the word enlightenment. And when I think of enlightenment, it suggests brightening up. But what is it that we are brightening? What is it that we should allow to shine? Swami has reminded us that the human values of love, peace, righteousness, truth, and non-violence are within our heart. But it's not enough just to know that we have these values. We must also show. So how can we make ourselves shine as individuals? It is very important for us to cultivate this purity of heart and to enlighten every thought, every word, and every action. And talking about enlightenment, I would love to end today's beautiful moment sharing together with a lovely song that has to do with purity and enlightenment. Loving every I'd like to end by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for your beautiful listening. I'd also like to share my gratitude to the Sathya Sai International Organization in Australia for this wonderful opportunity, and my heartfelt gratitude to our dear Sathya Sai, who is the source, the path, and the goal. Thank you, Swami, for your daily inspiration, for your wonderful teachings, and for always being our nearest and dearest friend. So let us all cultivate this purity of heart to allow Swami to live within each and every one of us. Thank you so much. Om Sai Ram.
Our next segment will be an exploration of the theme. To explore the theme, we'll embark on a journey with 3 SSC students who have been assigned to do a group project on purity. Due to COVID restrictions, the students decide to have a Zoom meeting to discuss the project in detail. Sit back and watch as these 3 students go on a transformative journey with our dearest Swami to understand the meaning of purity. Hey Ria, who are we waiting for?
Just waiting for Arya, the last one to always join.
Hey, I heard that, but I'm here now.
Oh yay, we're all here.
So, how did we go with our research?
I always find purity to be such a difficult topic. Maybe I'm just overthinking it.
No, I feel the same way.
Maybe instead of thinking of it as one big topic, we could break it down a little bit.
Great idea. If we break it down, it'll be easier to practice purity as well. The only thing I can think to include in the assignment is Swami's life and message.
Yes, we should definitely include his teachings and his life. Although, for the rest, I'm not really sure. We all have Swami's number, right? We could just text him.
Yes, I have his number. I'll message him.
Sai Ram, Swami.
My dear children, how are you all?
We are fine, Swami. We have some questions for you.
What would you like to know about Bangaru?
Well, we have to do this assignment on purity, but we don't have many ideas.
I can certainly help.
Yay!
Purity manifests in many levels. First, I'm going to help you understand the importance of internal and external purity for man's physical and mental health. Most people are worried about physical cleanliness, but tend to ignore inner cleanliness because they think the heart and mind are not visible to others.
That's so true.
You are all laughing, but how clean are your rooms, children?
Guys, I think I need to turn off my camera.
Arya, Swami can still see your room. He's God.
Oh yeah. Whoops. Guess I need to work on my external purity, hey?
Yes, cleanliness is next to godliness. And remember, God resides in pure hearts only. Ready for the first 2 lessons?
Yes, Swami.
Yes, Swami.
Sai Ram. Swami says that his students are his wealth, so he loves them and guides them every step of the way.
Look how Swami lovingly teaches and guides his children in attaining inner purity.
Swami, there are millions of people who go to church, mosque, gurdwaras, temples, sai centers to seek blessings and grace of God.
But we don't understand what we offer to win your grace, Baba.
Why don't you ask those millions of people What do they offer to please God?
Social distancing rules are in place, so we better send out drones and get some answers.
Great idea! What would you offer to the Lord to win His grace?
These are my favorite jewelries. I am happy to sacrifice all these to earn God's grace.
I offer $1 million. Bless my business, O God.
Myself, Vamanarayan, I offer 100 tons of grains.
Myself, housewife Kamala, I offer to fast for 10 days.
मानस बजरे गुरु चरणम दुस्तर भव सागर चरणम. I offer to sing Akhanda bhajans all by myself for 24 hours.
I offer 10 tons of gold.
I offer 100 elephants, 200 horses, and 300 villages to win the grace of God.
Swami, people are offering all sorts of things, from earrings to elephants.
Which offer will you accept, Swami?
Bangaru, anything you offer to me with love will be acceptable to me.
Swami, what about the people who are poor and nothing to offer?
Even a leaf of tulsi, if you offer me with love, I will accept it.
But Swami, which is the offering you love the most?
Bangaru, see the sadhana my children have taken up. That is the offering I love the most. See for yourself.
Swami, I keep getting angry at my friends while playing. My sadhana is to learn to talk to everyone lovingly.
Swami, I tend to speak lies to cover up my mistakes. My sadhana is to speak the truth and always own up to my mistakes.
My sadhana is to meditate every day to calm my mind.
I try my best not to judge others and always think positively of people and circumstances.
My sadhana plan to develop my inner purity is to chant the Gayatri Mantra 9 times and to read Sai literature daily.
My sadhana is to pray each morning. My sadhana plan is Jyoti meditation. I am trying to do meditation for 2 minutes or so. This is how I have been practicing my sadhana plan.
My sadhana is every night before I sleep, I will pray for those who are suffering from COVID and those families who are struggling.
My sadhana plan is to clean the bedside tables and say Swami's name 10 times. My sadhana is to do bhajans with my family every day. My sadhana is to say the morning prayer and the night prayer and meditate. My sadhana plan is to do the night prayer and the morning prayer.
My sadhana is to manage my anger by saying Swami's name 9 times.
My sadhana is to be kind every day.
My sadhana plan is to get fit and get healthy by eating right and going to the gym regularly, because a healthy body is a healthy mind, and that's how I develop my inner purity.
My sadhana is to chant God's name every day. When I chant God's name, I feel calm.
My sadhana is to light the lamp in the Swami room and say the Gayatri Mantra 9 times.
My sadhana is to is to help in getting to school on time.
My sadhana is to help around the house every day by putting the dishes away and helping put the clothes on the line.
My sadhana plan for today is to have a truthful speech and meditate for 5 minutes every day.
And my sadhana plan is to say Gayatri Mantra 11 times a day and help my mom in doing chores.
My sadhana plan is to say Om Sri Sai 10 times every day. My sadhana plan is to not harm anyone and to be kind.
My sadhana plan is to do Sai Gayatri Mantra 11 times every day and help my mom doing chores and cooking.
My sadhana plan is to make my bed every morning and turn on my nightlight before I get out of my room.
To develop inner purity, I want to maintain a tranquil mind. I'm going to reduce the time I spend unproductively in the day.
My sadhana plan is to read or listen stories about Swami and pray to him every day before bed.
Swami, some students are trying to achieve tranquility of mind. Some are trying to develop loving and truthful speech. Some are trying to be positive. What are all these? They're not offering you anything.
Bangaru, they have taken up a sadhana to purify their heart so that I can reside in it and guide them and take them to the highest goal of human life, which is enlightenment. That is why I say purity is enlightenment.
Sai Ram, we offer our love, our gratitude and our everything on the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba.
Swami said, however pure the ingredients may be, if the vessel in which they are cooked is not clean, the food will be spoiled.
Our living spaces and bodies are the vessels in which our hearts reside in.
Hence, for the purification of our hearts, we must ensure the purity of our living spaces and bodies.
How do we keep our living spaces and bodies pure?
We keep our living spaces pure by cleaning and filling them with objects that provide us with peace and pure thoughts.
We keep our bodies pure by being clean and healthy.
During the month of July, we, New South Wales Region East SSC Children and Family, embarked on a spiritual discipline adventure called the Sadhana of Purity.
We practice keeping our living spaces and bodies pure so that we can experience purity.
The more we practiced, the more we experienced. The more we experienced, the more we became aware that we are inherently pure.
We had two categories to choose from. Category 1 was purity of living spaces and Category 2 was purity of body.
Through Category 1, we kept our rooms, our homes, our gardens, and our streets clean and pure. We also strengthened our mutual understanding and cooperation and a sense of harmony among our family members at home.
Through Category 2, we took care of our bodies
by washing our hands regularly, practicing personal hygiene, exercising and eating sattvic food.
Also ensured we had a smile on our faces and regularly chanted Gayatri Mantra every day. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat.
We used our creative ideas to show our understanding of purity of living spaces and purity of body. Here are some of our beautiful ideas and artworks. Enjoy!
Hey, what you doing?
Do you want to come and clean?
Hey, what you doing? Do you want to come and clean? You can come and train our team, so we will help you control. We can do the job, no one learn from home. Once you feel fresh, you will be blessed. Make your hands clean by being off the screen. Once you have a clean and spacious house, you will have no mouse in the house. Don't forget to be very keen to make our world very green. Come on, let's get this done, so we can have a lot of fun. Come on, let's get this done, so we can have a lot of fun. Come on, let's get this done, so we can have a lot of fun. Come on, let's get this done, so we can have a
I feel so inspired by these messages on inner and outer purity, and there are so many things we could offer Swami, but we need to offer them with love.
Did anyone notice Bahubali?
Yes, Arya.
What are we learning next, Swami?
If you take nature, for example, all that is contained in creation, the mountains, trees, and rivers are constantly teaching us many lessons on purity. I want you all to see this, to understand this better.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, same.
Om Shri Sai Ram. With loving pranams at the Divine Lotus Feet of our beloved Swami, we, the SSC children of ACT, present the topic Purity in Nature.
What is purity in nature?
Swami says we should firmly believe that nature itself is God. Therefore, nature is purity and divinity itself. Swami has also explained the inherent nature of objects. How did sweetness come into the sugarcane? How did chilies acquire hot taste? How did the leaves of the neem tree get its bitterness? How did fragrance come into the jasmine flower? We call it nature, but no, it is divinity that expresses itself through nature.
Lessons that nature can teach us.
There are many lessons that we can learn from nature. Swami says that the sun is the source to all life on this planet. The sun draws up into the skies of the waters, seas, and lakes, and from the cloud the sun pours rain into the crops, and the sun is divine, scattering its rays equally on all.
Swami says that water is an important element in nature and is one of the manifestations of the divine. The lesson that water teaches is, by nature, I am pure, sweet, and cool. Purity, patience, and perseverance are 3 good qualities you have to cultivate.
Trees play a vital role in keeping the air quality suitable for humans by emitting oxygen and absorbing carbon dioxide. Trees also teach us about purity and spiritual truths. Swami says, the tree puts up with heat and rain, summer and winter, and all the harm inflicted on it. It offers shade and fruit to whoever approaches it. It seeks no return from those who benefit from it. Everyone should learn this lesson of selfless service from the tree.
Swami has spoken about birds and their self-reliance. A bird perched on a tree is not affected by the wild swaying of the twig or the storm which might blow it off. This is because it relies not on the twig, but on its own wings for its safety. It knows it can always fly away and save itself. Birds are also not concerned about acquiring things for tomorrow. They are content to make the best of the present moment, living on whatever they can get for the day.
Swami has also spoken about the purity of animals. He says, when we examine the life and behavior of animals labeled as lower, we can learn many lessons for our own betterment. The elephant, the cow, and the deer do not harm or eat other animals. They live on leaves or grass or grain and lead sattvic or pure lives. Therefore, they receive reverence and the worshipful homage of man.
How can we purify the environment around us?
Swami says that our primary task is to purify the environment, which is affected by pollution of air, water, and food. All the 5 elements are affected by pollution. An important way we can purify the environment is by chanting Swami's name, known as Nama Smarana. Swami says that the recitation of the names of the Lord will help to purify the atmosphere as a result of the sacred sound waves getting absorbed in the atmosphere.
How can one purify oneself by paying respect to nature?
One example of this is by paying respect to the sun god. Without the sun, there wouldn't be any life on the planet. The sun warms our seas, generates our weather patterns, and gives energy to the growing green plants that provide the food and oxygen for life on Earth.
Through performing the Surya Namaskaram, the sequence of postures also known as sun salutation, a devotee can offer his prayers to the sun god. A person who practices this yogasana benefits immensely, as it strengthens and purifies the body, mind, and soul.
How can nature guide man on his journey to the goal of self-realization?
Nature provides many examples on how man can purify himself on the goal towards self-realization. Swami says the river strives, yearns, and struggles to merge itself from the sea from which it came. It attempts to make itself pure and pellucid so that it may be welcomed by its source. It overcomes every obstacle in order to journey successfully towards its goal. Man too must utilize all the endowments that God has granted him so that he may journey successfully towards the goal of realization.
Wow, there's so much we can learn about purity from nature. Sounds like we need an excursion.
Not gonna happen, Anita. It's 2020.
Thanks, Swami. Nature is our best teacher.
Yes, children, but you must always try and help purify nature and refrain from polluting it. Let's look at purity in worldly relations now.
What do you mean by that, Swami?
Purity will manifest only when all our worldly relationships are based on love, without any expectation of reward or return.
Like a mother's love for her child?
Yes, Arya, but it is not only mothers who can express selfless love. We all have the ability to love everyone without seeking anything in return. Shall we watch another video to explain it better?
Yeah!
What do you think makes your parents forgive you when you make the same mistake again and again?
I think my parents have been very patient with me by forgiving me for all the mistakes that I do repeatedly. The reason for this is how much they love me and care for me. It's just a special bonding between us. I am really lucky to have a family like this.
At first, my parents, when I make a mistake, my parents tell me not to do it again, but when I repeat it, they guide me to correct my mistakes.
Why do your siblings always support you, even when you annoy them?
Swami asks us to forgive the people who have done harm to us so we can all live a happy life with our family and so we can be very peaceful.
Well, it's because we're a family, and as a family, we care for each other and love each other so much. Like, even though I annoy my sister so much, she helped me with my English homework and a lot of other things around the house. And in return, my sister annoys me a lot as well, and I help her still.
Why are friends there for each other when needed?
To care for you and help you during hard times, like in this COVID situation. Although I can't see my friends in person, they daily call me and text me to make sure that I'm not lonely.
Friends are there to help us change our actions, to become a better person, and to support us grow.
Sai Ram, everyone. The SSE children of Caroline Springs Sai Center would be presenting Purity of Relationship to Self and share with you how they try to achieve this through watch. Watch stands for words, actions, thoughts, character, and heart. Let us watch and enjoy.
Softly and sweetly. We should all speak softly and sweetly because just like an arrow is released from a bow, can't be taken back. Similarly, bad words once spoken can't be taken back. Sairam.
I always speak respectfully to others, then only others will speak respectfully to me.
I appreciate others to show my gratitude for all the great work they're doing.
Sairam. A smile is the shortest distance between two people. When you smile at someone, it is an action of love, a gift, a beautiful thing. Our beloved Swami says, a smile is the beginning of peace. Sairam.
Sairam, when I write letters from my family and friends, I know that it makes them happy. That makes me happy. Writing letters is a way of spreading love and happiness, and it's wonderful.
I like to clean up without being told. I clean the toys that are left on the ground after playing. And I make my bed in the mornings. I take it as my responsibility to clean up.
Caring for others makes me feel good that I accomplish something nice and virtuous.
Sairam, everyone. I try to watch my thoughts by thinking how I'll affect other people and if it's worthwhile. Also, I try to think positively because positive thoughts can lead to positive action, and this makes the relationship to yourself more pure.
I Ramal. I write all good thoughts and bad thoughts in my diary, and this gives me an opportunity to curb negative thoughts and cultivate more and more good thoughts.
Thoughts are the very root of your action, so it is very crucial to keep them pure and positive, as it will lead to positive outcomes. Set right your thoughts, and everything else will fall in place. Sai Ram!
Sai Ram, everyone! I try to achieve purity with myself by being true to myself and others, even when it is not convenient. I take a moment to look at the consequences of my actions and accordingly do them if they are righteous and dismiss them if they are not.
I maintain purity of my character by keeping a personal sadhana and consciously connecting to Swami internally. This helps me stay positive, refined, and have a pure relationship with myself.
Sai Ram, I help my brother with his homework even though it's not enjoyable, because in the end it's the right thing to do and I feel happy afterwards.
Sai Ram all. My smile makes everyone feel happy, and this makes my heart happy and pure.
Sai Ramal, during quarantine, I saw my mom was struggling to do all the household work and manage her full-time job. So as a token of love and gratitude, I decided to help her out to reduce her workload.
Purity in society is practicing the 5 human values: love, truth, peace, non-violence, and right conduct. In these times of hardship, it is important for us to spread love to those who have been affected, financially, emotionally, or physically. This can be done right from our home through prayer. In addition, it is extremely important to practice right conduct for the greater good of the community.
Dear Lord, we know that you are always with us, empowering us in every way, making a difference in our world. We ask that you fill each of us with your purity of love, that we may spread across this nation and far across the world, uniting us as one in these turbulent times. We ask for your help to set aside our differences and look to the greater cause, the cause of the global pandemic, thus be eradicated and our world purified. Help us to awaken our wisdom and practice love and care for each other as we live and work with one another in peace. Deepen our souls to look into one another's needs before ourselves. May we realize this power of purity within us. My love and gratitude to you, Lord, for protecting us with every breath.
Another great video, Swami. You really do have all the answers.
Surely we have enough content for our assignment now.
No, we are only halfway, children. When Swami teaches something, he ensures that he covers all facets.
Okay, Swami, just when I thought I had learnt all there was to purity.
Next one is a very important one. Pay close attention.
Okay, Swami, sure.
Alright, today we will talk about your time management. Okay? What's happening is that you spend a lot of time on things that may not be necessary. And as I told you, you only have so much time in a day, and you spend it on the wrong things and things that don't help you. You don't have time to actually spend it on things that can be beneficial for you.
Like video games, YouTube, or like Minecraft or Roblox.
Yeah, they're not like helping you with schoolwork and it's just wasting time.
Exactly. You'll spend sometimes 2-3 hours playing Minecraft, Roblox, watching YouTube videos, and you'll end up spending that time, and when you finish off, you're no wiser than when you started off.
You're like, oh, I just forgot my homework I did. Can I make you 2 months more of electronics and then comes to an hour?
Yes, right? Now that's where Swami talks about ceiling on desires.
What that means?
Ceiling on desires is where you have to put a limit on what you want, right? So yes, you could need something, but get something a little bit cheaper if it's based on money, right? If it's time, spend a little less time on it, right? For instance, your video game. You want to play video games? You watch YouTube. Spend half an hour, right? You still got to play instead of 2 hours, and the other 1.5 hours you can use for other things. What can you use it for, Swami?
You could use it for like playing with your mom and dad. You can even like use it for like drawing or puzzles. And you can do like treasure maps. Like you can make your own, or you can go to the park.
Lovely, yes. And the other thing we could also do is start becoming more self-sufficient. Do you know what self-sufficient is?
No.
No. It's where we don't have to rely on other people, right? We can now look at spending the time going to Bunnings, get some flower boxes, we can plant our own vegetables.
Like a save money garden.
Exactly, a vegetable garden. And we could save money where we are spending the time, instead of playing video games, preparing and growing our own vegetables.
Like you don't need to like buy now, you can just get it in the backyard.
Exactly. And you know mommy loves to cook, so she can cook all the nice things that you planted. And that's spending time in your garden.
Yeah, you can just play anything you want in the garden, but you just don't step in anything.
Yeah. So that's where we want to go from now onwards. We will reduce our video game usage, our YouTube usage. We spend more time outside in the sunshine, and we will make our vegetable gardens, and we will grow our own vegetables. Are you game for that?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sairam Ishana, Sairam Vigna.
Sairam.
Ishana, what was the SSC topic last week?
Last week the topic was ceiling on desires.
Oh, very good. So there are many different elements on ceiling of desires, like learning not to waste food or overeat.
Yes, we discussed that in SSC.
You learnt about it, but how many jamuns did you eat last night, Ishana?
2 or 3, maybe 10.
Well, you know what happens if you eat 10 jamuns in one go?
I get very sick.
Yes, Swami says to set a limit on how much you eat. If you overeat, it will upset your stomach. He says when you sit down to dine and when you get up, you should be able to get up with the same ease with which you sat down to dine.
Next time, Ishana will remember to limit the number of jamun she gobbles up.
Meghna, do you know what Swami says about 4 important things which we shouldn't waste?
Yes, Swami says not to waste food, time, energy or money.
How often do we waste food, Meghna?
We waste food when we help ourselves with too much on our plate and not finish it. We also waste food when we buy too many things from the supermarket and do not eat it all and throw it in the bin after a few weeks.
Yes, next time when we visit the supermarket, we just buy appropriate quantities of food. And if at all we buy any extra food, we make sure that we can donate it to the local food bank. And so that we know we can help with those people who are suffering from tough times. Meghna, Ishana, what does Swami say about wasting time?
Time waste is life waste.
Good, but next time when you sit in front of the TV or you spend so much of time on the iPad, you just have to remember that, will you?
Yeah.
I'm taking the car to go to school today. I desired to take the car as it would be much faster to get to school. But I put a ceiling on my desire and decided to ride my bike instead. I did my part to save the environment.
I had a snack and desired to throw away the rubbish and be done with it. However, I put a ceiling on that desire and decided to collect it along with other soft plastics and put it into a soft plastics bin.
My desire was to watch TV, but I put a ceiling on that and read Sai literature instead. So that way, I used my mental energy for a better purpose. I would spend a lot of time worrying or fantasizing. I have decided to put a ceiling on that, and when I find myself doing it, stop and use that time to sing or learn a new bhajan. This way I'm making better use of my mental energy and also spreading good vibrations.
I love chocolate spread, but it contains palm oil, which is harmful for the environment. So instead, I bought a delicious locally made jam, and I saved money and helped the environment.
These are some of the ways by which we at SSC have put a ceiling on desires and reduced pollution, helped the environment, helped save the rainforests, redirected our mental energy, and created good vibrations. This is what we did. What will you do?
Well, there's so much we can do to help others by putting a ceiling on our desires.
That's right, Anita.
Swami, we would like to include your life and teachings in our assignment. Can we show you what we've done so far, Swami?
Yes, I am very excited.
Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba has said, purity is essential for enjoying everlasting bliss. Through SSC programs, we look at what purity means in our daily lives. A lot of activities we do at Sai centers revolve around bhajans and service. We thought we would share with you the bhajan Hari Bhajana Bina Sukha Shanti Nahi to show us ways to attain purity.
भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं.
The only ensurer of true and everlasting bliss is chanting and remembrance of God's name, whether it be a humble Sairam or a Jai Shri Krishna, or even contemplating on Lord Jesus brings an immediate sense of bliss in our lives.
blocks or the main thread for this complex world is woven with divine love. Love is the basis of developing purity. Purity can be developed by practicing selfless love, love for all beings equally, love which sees the divinity in all, and love that expects nothing in return. Love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never.
Guru is the one who knows God and shows us the path to divinity. To follow a Guru is a sure way to attain self-realization and to become pure, where God within becomes our true Guru.
Dhyana is not just the practice of meditation. It is also a meditative state of being. It is to be in constant state of awareness, to observe without judgment, and to love without attachment. When one reaches this stage, one is then automatically in union with God, which is the purest form of our being.
Pragyana means ultimate reality or Brahman. Human efforts, no matter how profound, is not enough to realize Brahman. It is through divine grace that one can secure realization and attain purity. Purity is enlightenment.
Righteous action is validated only through compassion. No amount of charity can be classified as being righteous if it is not fueled by genuine compassion for one's fellow beings. Swami says, only those who can pour out compassion can claim a place in the grace of God.
The only one who truly belongs to us is God, because He alone sees us as a pure and blemishless soul. He loves us unconditionally, realizing that all we do is the path to purity.
Sai
The Supersoul of Paramatma oversees and sanctions all that goes on in the material world. Paramatma is within each atom, in every non-living and living entity, accompanying the individual soul through lifetimes and helping us fulfill our destiny. In the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains how he simultaneously exists in the hearts of all beings around the world as the friend, the witness, the maintainer, and the controller of all beings in the world. By this very definition of Paramatma, Sai and all other forms of God are our Paramatma, He who will guide us on the path to purity.
Krishna, I'm going to recite my Namasmarana poem.
Namasmarana is chanting Shiva's name. It will help you reach your aim. It is the best sadhana in this Kali Yuga. It has no specific criteria. If you chant any god's name, how many ever times you wish, the Lord shall grant your wish. Namasmarana is the easiest way to see Rama. You can also see Ganashama. Like Dhruva seek Narayana with this tool, you too can do it, not be a fool. Sai is ever loving, praise for him only should you sing. It will save you from illusion and it will remove suppression. Namasmarana is a gift, it will give you a lift. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. My name is Riya Shankar and I will be presenting a quote today. It is only by means of purity of mind can you come close to the Lord. You can practice this in your daily life by watch, as in watch your words, watch your actions, watch your thoughts, watch your character, and watch your heart. Also, another way to practice this is harmony of words, thoughts, and deeds. Thank you, and Sai Ram.
Hi, I'm Abhi from the 3 C's and this is my artwork on purity. Number 1, the 5 human values. Number 2, help ever hurt never. Number 3, think only good thoughts, speak only good words and do only good deeds. And number 4, always trust in Swami and he will guide you. Finally, a last word I'd like to say. Performing all these in your daily life can lead to purity because helping people and being good-natured is right. Thank you for listening.
You have portrayed my life really well. Swami is very happy.
Thank you, Swami. That was the only thing we could think of when we started off this assignment.
Swami, one last question. Do you have any tips on how we can practice purity?
My dear child, I will equip you with all that you need to know, not just for this assignment, but for the rest of your life.
For the rest of our lives?
And welcome to Queensland Sai News. Our hot topic today is on purity and how to overcome challenges practicing it. Today we will be interviewing everyday superheroes in Queensland SSE. They have been practicing purity through their chosen spiritual and human values. As we will see, it is these sadhanas that give them the courage and strength to overcome challenges. Swami has said to practice purity as a sadhana. Quote, as soon as you rise from bed in the morning, examine for a few moments your thoughts, plans, habits, and attitudes to others, which are about to pounce on you, and decide the shape of the things that are going to come to you throughout the day. Throw your inclination on the side of the good, the constructive, to renounce and rise up as a purer, stronger, and happier man than what you went to bed. This is the real sadhana. I'll now hand it over to my colleague who is on ground investigating.
Om Sai Ram. Thank you, Newsroom. I'm live in Sai QLD and ready to dive deep into our investigation on purity. Today we will look into some practical challenges and how to overcome them. What is purity, you may ask? Purity is being clean physically, mentally, and spiritually. Darkness cannot be present, and all actions must be wholehearted. There are many internal enemies, and they are the main challenges to practice purity. For me, these enemies are anger, jealousy, greed, ego, and fear. To overcome these challenges, I listen to my gut instinct. Some call it conscience, inner voice, or intuition. When I am doing something wrong, I can almost immediately feel my gut. I then acknowledge it and listen to it. It always puts me onto the right track. I also think prayer and love and faith in my Swami is the foundation to all of this. That is listening to my inner voice. In fact, Swami is my inner voice. He is my consciousness. And when I apply Swami's teachings in every thought, word, and deed, I am practicing purity. Let's see what our SSC heroes have to see today.
Sai Ram, everyone. Purity to me is like running water where bad bacteria or germs that come across the water will not affect the water itself. I try to practice this every day, whereas there are some challenges that I come across while trying to practice purity.
I'm a supergirl because I wash my hands and keep my friends and family safe from COVID-19. I'm responsible because I help my mom and keep my room tidy.
Purity is being passionate. When passion flows, we maximize our contribution to the divine mission and purify ourselves as realized souls. We do this by learning Sai's divine teachings to be true heroes of him.
Purity is simple and clean, like keeping my room clean, keeping my bedroom clean, keeping my clothes clean, keeping my bathroom clean, and keeping my desk clean, keeping my hair clean, keeping my body clean, and brushing my teeth. My heart and mind becomes clean.
Sadam. So what's heartfulness? Purity means what you can see good, you think good, you hear good, and you speak politely, and you speak sweetly with heartfulness.
Purity comes in many forms, whether it is where we work in and live in, where it should be a clean and positive atmosphere, or the food we eat should be clean and good for the body and well-being. Purity also comes in how we feel and treat others, and we should be respectful and helpful.
Some of the challenges are bad company and technology. There are many others, but these I thought were the main ones.
Some of the challenges that we face is that we sometimes don't listen to our master, in this case, our parents and Swami. Another problem is that we allow ourselves to be clouded by the externalities and the unnecessary things of the world, and allow the evil mind to guide us along.
The challenges we kids face today to practice purity is getting influenced by others who are doing wrong, the different values they hold or they align, hearing or seeing the incorrect behaviors.
To try and solve these problems, I try to stay away from bad company, and if I come into contact with them, I try to ignore them, or if not, I will just walk away from the bad company. And to solve the technology problem, I try to stay away from technology as much as possible, and if I have to ever use technology, I will only use it for a restricted amount of time.
A possible solution is to have self-control over the mind. This can be done by doing jyoti, regularly meditating, and listening to the devotional prayers twice a week. This will help the mind be filled with Sai's light, allowing all negative emotions, thoughts, feelings, actions, and words to leave the mind. If we have faith, trust, and confidence in God, our dear Lord will automatically do your needs. Om Sri Sai Ram.
The possible solutions to the challenges identified: respecting each other, being helpful and not selfish, Always remembering to do good, to follow Swami's guidance. Always speaking the truth. Doing the right thing. Keeping peace. And most importantly, love all and each one of each other. Thank you.
Wow, what amazing tips and insights while trying to overcome challenges while trying to practice purity. Thank you for joining us in this investigation. Signing off, over and out.
Wow, so many practical tips from Swami. Although, we need to start practicing them before we can even put it in our assignment.
Yes, practice is important. Children, history has produced so many exemplars of purity. You must spend time to learn about these exemplary personalities so that you can imbibe many of their qualities.
But Swami, you are our role model, the embodiment of purity.
Yes, I am. But each story is unique and will teach you many different lessons.
Alright kids, that's the end of the school day. Just before you leave, remember that tonight you have to finish all of your English worksheets and also the maths exercises that we started earlier. If you're done with that, you should make a start on your art project. See you later.
Ugh! Why do we have to do so much homework? There's so much to do that I think my brain is going to become discombobulated.
I know, right? Miss Go is so mean.
Come on, Wendy. Homework is not all that bad, right? I mean, it's good because it helps us to learn.
What's wrong with you, Howard? You're always such a suck-up. Teachers are always mean.
That's not very nice. You should not say that about your teacher. Yes, our teachers can enforce discipline sometimes, but they do it for us because they have our best interests at heart.
I guess that's right, Leonard. Our teachers do give us a lot. We should be grateful to them.
Thanks, Olivia. Yes, teachers throughout history have provided really inspirational examples to us. I watched an old movie the other day called To Sir with Love, which was about a teacher in London in the 1960s who was determined to fight against obstacles to help his poor students succeed in life.
Now that I think about it, I remember my dad telling me about Anne Sullivan, the teacher of Helen Keller. Helen Keller was blind and deaf, and Anne Sullivan helped her to study by teaching her Braille and sign language. The first thing the teacher did was hold her student's hand underwater while making the sign language for water with her hands. From there, Helen Keller eventually graduated from university, despite not being able to hear or see.
Oh yes! And what about the YouTube channel that I used to help with my homework? WooTube! It was set up by a maths teacher called Eddie Wu. He is so enthusiastic about maths and gets me really excited to learn.
Exactly, Freddy. These are all exceptional examples of teachers who lead and inspire. They are exemplars of purity who we can and should look up to.
Just like someone else, very special to us all.
Who's that?
I think he means our beloved Guru, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. He is the ultimate exemplar of purity and guide for us all.
Wait, I'm confuzzled. What is a guru?
A guru is someone who teaches you, like your mother, father, and your teacher at school. They help to guide us on our path as we move through life and towards God.
You're right. I'm going to go home now and I have a think about how my family and I can best celebrate these teachers of ours and also how we can thank them. See you later, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Hey, that's my phone. Oh no, it's my mom. What now? Hi, Mom. Yes, I will be home soon.
What's up, James?
Mum wants me to come home to look after my little brother, as she's going shopping to buy stuff to contribute to the food hampers being sponsored to the families that are affected in this COVID-19 pandemic.
Wow, that is so thoughtful of your mum. It would be awesome if we all can also help to make a positive impact on people just like Sullivan and Eddie Wu.
Yes, also like Mother Teresa, Florence Nightingale, and Mahatma Gandhi too. They were all exemplary leaders and such pure souls who led by example and contributed so much to humanity, truly inspiring individuals. Let's emulate their qualities and values.
And what about Nelson Mandela? He was an icon to the world as well. He spent 27 years in prison to ensure that freedom and democracy was attained for all the people in his country. We all are one, he said. Just like Swami, all these outstanding and compassionate leaders really made such an impact in society and to the entire world. Yes, together, let's help to make a difference too. But how? Ideas, anybody?
Hey guys, remember how our SSE teachers asked us to have a Sealing on Desires tin to save for the needy? Do you all still have it? Have you all saved anything?
Yes, we have.
Not really. Yes, this is another great opportunity for us to help the needy in these very trying times.
What is Sealing on Desires? It's all about developing detachment and sacrifice. I remember the story of our SSC teacher told us about a poor student who, instead of giving his washing to the Dobies, he did his own washing and was able to save 100 rupees to donate to the building of the super specialty hospital.
Wow! I remember that story too. At darshan one morning, Swami walked straight to one little boy and took his envelope first, and without even opening it, he recited why that envelope was so special. Our Guru, our Swami, knows everything.
Wow, what a beautiful story. Now let's see what we can do with all our Sealing on Desire savings.
Let's get warm gloves, hats, and scarves for the street children. We can distribute them while the adults are giving the food hampers.
We can give them blankets too.
What a brilliant idea! It's so wintry cold now too. This will help them so much to keep warm. We can also contact all SSE students and parents and ask if they have extra pairs of gloves, scarves, and hats in good condition to donate as well.
We can also pack hampers for refugees like we did in SSE. It made me feel really good inside.
What a great idea. It really makes me feel good too.
How exciting! Let's get cracking with these fantastic server activities. Also, thank you Swami and our teachers for teaching us to put into practice Sealing on Desires. Less desires is definitely more happiness.
Yes, and what a great opportunity to use it to serve.
So true. Our heartfelt gratitude goes to our parents, teachers, and Swami for always guiding us and ensuring we always have purity of intent in all our actions.
Those teachers really are amazing.
Those kids were such great examples too with their Sealing on Desires program.
I think I know what we can do for our assignment.
What is it?
Duh, a sadhana, of course.
Oh, yeah.
What would we do without our Swami?
Thank you, Swami, for all your help.
Who knew group assignments could be so fun?
Well, we all know what to do, don't we? Keen to meet up again next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all for joining us today. Wasn't it amazing to see the passion and dedication with which the SSC children across Australia came together in a spirit of unity and purity to bring this virtual offering to life? We will now conclude with Aarti.
The Lord of the universe is here. Swami Sathya Sai is here. Come to send devotees everywhere. Come to bless His children everywhere. Born at Puttaparthi, the Lord of the universe is here. Calm and tranquil like the moon, shining with divine inner light, filling all with bliss and His sky. He is always serving those in need, answering the prayers of devotees, giving grace to you and me. The Lord of the universe is here. Sai, you are Guru, God Himself. Mother, you are everything to us. Father, you are everything to us. You are the divine primal energy, manifests all that we ever see. You are the one reality. The Lord of the universe is here. Sai, with the sacred form of all, universal radiance divine, please accept this offering of mine. The flame of love that burns within my heart, meaning we can never be apart. You and I are ever one. The Lord of the universe is here. Narayana, Narayana, Om. Sathya Narayana, 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 Om. Narayana, Narayana, Om. Sathya Narayana, Narayana, Om. Sathya Narayana, Narayana, Om. The Lord of the universe is here. Narayana, Narayana, Om. Sathya Narayana, 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 Om. Narayana, Narayana, Om. Sathya Narayana, Narayana, Om. Sathya Narayana, Narayana, Om. The Lord of the universe is here. Narayana, Narayana, Om. Sathya Narayana, 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 Om. Narayana, Narayana, Om. Sathya Narayana, Narayana, Om. Sathya Narayana, Narayana, Om. The Lord of the universe is here. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी